We're now within a few days, Shavuos. The final stretch, rounding third, coming home. Approaching Kabbalas HaTorah with trepidation. And the yesod that we have to know in these final days is that the Svarim teach us what we will get out of Shavuos is what we put in to Shavuos. It's interesting that all of the Yomim Tovim are called names which represent the mitzvah of the day. But Shavuos is called Chag HaShavuos. What does Chag HaShavuos represent? What does that mean? The holiday of the weeks? Yeah, Chag HaMatzos. The mitzvah of the day is with matzos. Chag HaSukkos. Sukkah. But what's Chag HaShavuos? It must be Al Korcha. It must be that it's mukhrach to say that the holiday of Shavuos, the mitzvah of the holiday of Shavuos, equivalent to the mitzvah of Sukkah on Sukkot, to the mitzvah of Matzah on Pesach, is Shavuos, the weeks which we have prepared in advance of Shavuos, the preparation that we put in, the anticipation that we have for Kabbalas HaTorah, that is the holiday of Shavuos. The Sfas Emes says a beautiful word. He says that when the Bnei Yisrael, when they came to Midbar Sinai, Vayisu, when they traveled towards Lahar Sinai, so he says Shavuos falls out on either Vav Sivan or Zayin Sivan. Almost a full week after they came to Midbar Sinai. There was Rosh Chodesh, and then there was the second day, and then the Shlosh Simei Hagbala, and perhaps Moshe added a day as well. Which days were those? Well, Hakol Moedim, everybody agrees, Shavuos Shabbos, Nitna Torah.
Yeah.
That on Shabbos the Torah was given.
Lo pliki.
Nobody argues. So it was the entire week preceding the Shabbos. Either they came, the day that they came to Midbar, they traveled towards Midbar Sinai, was on Shabbos. Or, according to the Mandamer, says that the Torah was given on Vosif, and it was on Erev Shabbos as well.
Yeah.
So now we are holding in the time, it's Erev Shabbos before Shavuos. We're holding in the time right before Shavuos. We're mamish coming to Midbar Sinai. We're preparing, we're coming to Midbar Sinai. The Sfas Emes says Shavuos has to be preceded by the Shabbos before Shavuos.
Right.
The Shabbos before Shavuos is special because in that Shabbos lies the root of Shavuos. The Shabbos before Shavuos is the preparation for Shavuos. Chazal teach us, why is a baby gemalit? Why does a baby have a bris milah on the 8th day? Because he has to live through a Shabbos before he can have that bris with the Rabbeinu Shalom. Before we can create the wedding, before we can create the relationship, the bris, we must have a Shabbos. On that Shabbos, we prepare for Matan Torah. On that Shabbos, that's the preparation for the bris milah. How is Shabbos a preparation for Matan Torah? And how could we take this lesson and build that into our avodah now to prepare for Chag HaShavuos? We know when the Bnei Yisrael came to be Makabel the Torah, they camped opposite the mountain. Vayichan Sham Yisrael neged Ahar. Rashi points out, Vayichan v'loi v'yachanu. It doesn't say they camped opposite the mountain, he camped. And of course the famous words of Rashi, Ki ish echad b'leiv echad. Because they were like one people, one unit, together. The maila of being ba'achdus, ba'aguda achas, came out right before Matan Torah, neged Ahar. Because intrinsically, in order to prepare ourselves for Matan Torah, we have to be ki ish echad b'leiv echad. The hachana, the avodah that we have for preparation for Chag HaShavuos, to prepare to be makabel that Torah, is ki ish echad b'leiv echad, that we should be one nation. How is that a hachana for Kabbalas HaTorah? So we have Shabbos. All of the Shavuos, the weeks that preceded Chag HaShavuos, are a preparation for Shavuos, because that's the Yantiv. Shabbos is our preparation for Shavuos. Ki ish echad b'leiv echad is a preparation for Shavuos. How do we understand? We know that Svarim HaKadoshim teach us that each week has its koach from the preceding Shabbos. As much ruchnius that one puts in and receives on Shabbos, the menucha, the oineg, the relationship, the love, the fear that one experiences on Shabbos, that's how his week is going to play out. We also know, as Rashi in Parshas Bereishis teaches us, Bereishis bara Elokim es hashamayim es haaretz. Bishvil haTorah shenikras Reishis darkoi. Bereshis. The world was created. Why? For the Torah. Ubishvil Yisrael shenikru Reishis Tevu Asa. And the world was created for Yisrael. Bishvil Yisrael. The world was created for Kabbalas HaTorah. The creation, the bereshis of the world, which commenced on a Sunday, had 6 Yemei Malacha, 6 Sheshis Yemei Hamaisa, and concluded with the Shabbos. That in the entirety of the physical structure of this world is only here for the Torah. Intrinsic to Kabbalas HaTorah is the preparation of the Yemei Hamaisa, is the Shabbos, the preparation for Kabbalas HaTorah, because the whole purpose of the creation of the world was for Kabbalas HaTorah. Shabbos was only created because of Kabbalas HaTorah. Similarly, the concept called Yisrael is also the reason for creation of the world. We know what does Yisrael mean? The concept that the Rabbi Shalom chose one nation, Yisrael, the people of Klal Yisrael. Even though we're each individuals, Even though we're separate, but Yisrael signifies, the name Yisrael signifies the Klal, the Tzibur together. The Rosh Tevis of Yisrael are Yesh, Shishim, Ribui, Oisios, LaTorah. The Rosh Tevis of Yisrael are Yesh, Shishim, Ribui, Oisios, LaTorah. There are 600,000 letters in the Torah. $600,000 letters in the Torah. Each one represents one neshama that was standing by Har Sinai. The world, Shabbos, was created for Yisrael. And Yisrael is a representation of the Torah.
Just one more time, the world was created?
The world
was created for
Yisrael. The concept of Yisrael is one klal. Yeshishim ribui oisios l'Torah. Yes, there are 600,000 people that stood before Har Sinai, and that are written and represented as letters in the Torah, and they're separate individuals, but they all come together as one Torah. The world was created for the Torah. The world was created for Klal Yisrael. The preparation for Torah is, how does Klal Yisrael, who the world was created for, experience Torah? By using Shabbos to create Klal Yisrael. Let's try to understand what I'm saying.
So you said using Torah to create Klal Yisrael?
No. Klal Yisrael plus Shabbos equals Torah.
Okay.
Klal Yisrael is represented in the Torah. Shabbos was created for Klal Yisrael, and Shabbos was created for Kabbalah HaTorah. So Klal Yisrael on Shabbos can, through Klal Yisrael coming together and through Klal Yisrael being Shomer Shabbos properly, that's a preparation for Kabbalah HaTorah.
Not a or the?
The.
That's better. It's the preparation.
Let's try to understand what's going on here. The pasuk in Parshas Yisro, there's an unbelievable thing. B'chodesh Hashlishi, it was in the month of Sivan L'Teis B'nei Yisrael B'Eretz Mitzrayim, when they went out of Egypt. B'yoim Hazeh Bo'u Midbar Sinai, they came to the Midbar Sinai. Rashi says, B'Rosh Chodesh, they came on Rosh Chodesh. Lo hayat tzarech lichtov elo b'yom hahu. He should have said b'yom hahu. B'yom hahu, on that day. What's b'yom hazeh, on this day? Says Rashi, amazing thing. She'iyu divrei Torah chadoshim alecha ki'ilu hayom nitnu. Divrei Torah have to be so chaviv, so beloved to a person, that it's as if they were given today. You know, when a person gets a present, a new car, a new computer, so it's very dear to him. It's an unbelievable thing. He got a gift. He's experienced that gift. But after a little while, it wears off a little bit. He's not as excited anymore. B'yoim hazeh bo'u midbar Sinai. The Torah can't be like that. It has to be chaviv alecha. It has to be beloved to you as if it was given today. The Or Gedaliyahu asks the question. But that was the day that they got to Midbar Sinai. That wasn't the day of Kabbalah HaTorah. What's going on here? Or Gedaliyahu answers with a psikta. Chazal teach us V'hoya Moshe mitzapa. Moshe was waiting. Mosai huba. When would the day come that we would give the Torah? Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chodesh ha'isa mitzapa lohi. The day, the chodesh, the month that you were waiting for has arrived. That's what it means. B'chodesh, that's what it means when the pasuk says, "B'yoyim hazeh bo b'midbar Sinai." Then Moshe asked the Rabbi Shalom, "When is this day going to come already?" Says Rabbi Shalom, "The chodesh is already here. The chodesh is here." We see clearly from this pasuk that it's not the day of Kabbalah Torah itself that is the day of anticipation. It's the Chodesh Sivan, the days preceding, the preparation for Kabbalah Torah. What is that preparation? That preparation is Shabbos. That preparation is Yisrael. Ki ish echad b'leiv echad. That is our avodah in these days. B'yoyim hazeh, that on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, that precedes Shavuos, on Rosh Chodesh 5, 6, or 7 days before Chag HaShavuos, that we should be so elated with anticipation. We should be so excited for the Chag HaShavuos that we can't wait for that day that the Torah is going to be given again. Let's skip a little bit to our Parsha this week. Parsha's Nosoi, we have the idea of the Saita, the inyan of the Saita. What is a Saita? A Saita is a woman who her husband was mekanala. Her husband told her, do not be miyached with that person.
Warned her.
And he warned her, and she went, and she didn't listen. And you have Adam that come and say that she had yichud, she secluded herself with that person. And the husband brings her to the Beis HaMikdash, and they drink this water, the Mei Saita. What does the water have in it? The water has in it dirt. And it also has
water.
And what else does it have in it?
The
name
Hashem.
of Hashem is nimchak in the water. And she drinks it. And if she was innocent, so the water is actually gives a positive effect, makes her fertile. And if she is not innocent,
kills her.
And it kills her, her stomach and her womb.
The whole thing blows
up. She dies. That's the story of the Saita. We see a dover pella in the story of the Saita. The Rabbi Shalom could have killed the Saita in any way. We're not talking about something which is happening natural. Obviously there's an ace going on here. Something not regular, that the water should kill her. Obviously it's something l'mala miderach hateva. It's something out of the ordinary nature. And yet, the Rabban Shalom could have made anything. He could have done this kind of nace or that kind of nace and killed her a different way. Every time a Saita there would be a Saita in the Beis Mikdash, a scorpion would come out and bite the Saita. Why does it have to be through Mechikas Hashem, through erasing the name? Why erasing the name? The Gemara in Sukkah says, Omar Torah. Torah says, Shemi, Shenichtav B'Kedusha, my holy name that is written in holiness, Yimcha al Hamayim Lasei Shalom Ben Ish Leishtai. should be erased in the water in order to make peace between husband and wife. The Maharal explains the Gemara. We know Gadol HaShalom, great is peace. Shashem shenichtav b'kedusha yimcha, the name which is written b'kedusha is going to be erased in the water in order to create shalom between husband and wife. Ki shmoi shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu gam kein shalom. The name of the Rabbeinu Shalom is also shalom. So if the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom is being erased for shalom, and the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom is also shalom, so explains the Maharal, we need that name to be erased so that the name should have a kiyum.
You need the name erased so it has eternity?
Yeah. If the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom is shalom,
right,
and over here you have no shalom between husband and wife,
there's no kiyum.
So there's no kiyum to the name of shalom. So what do? You erase the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom in order to emphasize the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom.
Right.
Got it?
I got it.
Beautiful. Rav Moshe Shapiro explains this Maharal.
Imam Akim.
Yeah. He says, what is the idea of a Shem Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu? The name of the Rabbeinu Shalom is the Hizgalus, is the revelation of Hashem in this world. Just like any name is the revelation of the person. A name is what you refer to a person in order to refer to the idea of that guy that you're referring to. I'm calling you a name because in that name I can capture your essence. Otherwise it would take me 3 years to describe who you are. So I call you a name because that name captures the essence of who you are. And similarly, Kaviyachol, with the Rabbeinu Shalom, we can't understand what the Rabbeinu Shalom is, but how we relate to him and how we understand his essence is through calling his name. The name of Shalom, the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom, which the Gemara says Shalom is the name of the Rabbeinu Shalom, is the idea that the Rabbeinu Shalom is Bishalom, which means that the Rabbeinu Shalom is in constant peace. What does that mean? What does that mean? Shalom. What is Shalom? We know from our shir that Shalom is a completeness. What is that? Shalom is taking things which don't necessarily go together,
yes,
and
getting them together.
Husband and wife.
Yes.
Opposites.
Nekeva and Zachar.
Zachar and Nekeva don't necessarily come together. In fact, they're the opposites. I think we heard some Divrei Torah about that kind of relationship at a wedding this week. And the concept called Shalom Bayis means taking these two opposites together and creating an adhesive one. That's the Rabbeinu Shalom through his galus of the name Shalom. He created a world which contains divisions. He created a physical world. He created barriers. He created pirud, separation, segregations. The concept, the name of Shalom means relating to the Rabbeinu Shalom by becoming one. Just like the Rabbeinu Shalom is one, so too we have to become one. The avoda of Yisrael, the avoda of Yeshishim Ribi Oisius Torah. By the way, if one of those Oisius is possible, if one of those Oisius is missing, then the entire Sefer Torah is possible. And similarly in Klal Yisrael, if one of those Jewish people are missing, or They're separate. They don't. Then the entire Sefer Torah is not a Sefer Torah. Every single individual becomes one to contribute to a certain oneness called the Sefer Torah or Yisrael. That's the shame of Shalom, relating to the Rabbanu Shalom through the concept of peace and oneness. So just like the Rabbanu Shalom is our king, and we only have one king, and just like he is one, and we are his subjects, so we also have to be one. When we erase the name of the Rabbanu Shalom, it's because there's lacking that oneness in this world. We haven't done a good job of creating that adhesive oneness. There's a machlokas between husband and wife. Says the Rabbanu Shalom, mutav, it's better that my name be erased. It's better the current status of how you relate to me be erased, so that there should be a fresh new kiyum of shalom. That madrega of shalom is best brought out through husband and wife. And when it's not there, so then there is no shalom. So the name of the Rabbanu Shalom has to be erased. The shalom of husband and wife is something that's very deep and very obvious. You take two individuals, they're different, they're the opposite, and they become a guf echad mamish. They become one soul. They become one body. And the greatest oneness is actually produced in their children. Their children are their children have the qualities of each one and represent the oneness of their parents. When their children act, when their children live in this world, that is an expression of the oneness of their parents. On the other hand, when there's ish v'ishtoi are not one, then, as we know, there's no greater pirud than that. You ever wonder why when the Saita drinks the water, if she's innocent, so the bracha is that she'll be fertile? Ramosh Rafal, you ever wondered that?
Well, the question of why
does the water give a bracha to be fertile? The teretz is pashut. Because the whole idea of the shame being erased was to create shalom. What is shalom? Is the cohesive oneness of the two opposites, the husband and the wife. How are those two, in what expression do those two opposites become one? Through their children. So that water is poil children. That water causes oneness, the greatest level of oneness between husband and wife, which is through their children. And if not, it'll cause the greatest type of separation, such that that type of separation cannot exist anymore in this world. The Gemara in Makis says that a person should always ask shalom of another person. How do you know? Yeshi'ila shalom. You should ask in the name of Hashem, shalom. We learn that out from V'hinei Boaz ba mi bais lechem. Boaz came. Right, it's Begillas Shavuos relating this week. It's Hashem. It's coming week. V'hinei Boaz ba mi bais lechem. V'yomru lo kotzum Hashem imochem. He said to the people that were harvesting, Hashem should be with you. V'oimer Hashem imcha gibor achayil. And there's also a second by Gidon. It says Hashem imcha gibor achayil. So these two psukim, which there are greetings in the name of Hashem, we learn out from Boaz and from Gidon. Why do we need two psukim? The Gemara asks. Why do you need two psukim for? So the Gemara says it's very possible that Boaz wasn't teaching us a lesson that every time you ask your friend Shalom, every time you see your friend you have to ask him Shalom. Could be that he was doing it himself, and maybe they weren't maskim to Boaz. So the Gemara says, Kamash Malan, that's why it brings the pasuk by the Malach with Gidon, because you see that Hashem was maskim, that every time you greet your friend, you have to say, Hashem imochem, or Shalom. When you ask the Rabbanu, when you say Shalom Aleichem to your friend, what are you doing? What are you saying? Shalom Aleichem. You're taking the name of the Rabbanu Shalom, and you're saying, that name should be on you.
Yes.
Isn't that a tremendous zilzul? A desecration of the name of Hashem Shalom? You're using it in such a mundane, hey, Shalom, how you doing? Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Isn't that you're wasting the name of Hashem every single time you say it?
Not really. It's not a waste, because when you're doing that is symbolic. That is the actual bringing in unification of the Jewish
It's the same concept. It's the same concept.
But you're connected.
Mutav, it's good. You could be mezalzel in the name of Shalom. Because what you're doing is breaking out the idea of Shalom.
Right.
Where do we learn that from? We learn it from Boaz. And perhaps we can say this is maybe another reason why we learn Begillas Shavuos on Shavuos. Because Boaz taught us that when you greet your friend, you have to say Shalom. That concept of Shalom is a prerequisite for Chag HaShavuos. The concept that your friend is not somebody else. Your friend, we have to bestow Shalom, we have to bestow the name of the Rabbanu Shalom on between us, so that there is nothing between us. We are one unit. That is, who was Boaz, by the way? Boaz was
leader of Sanhedrin.
Right. And he was also the
Zeta of David.
So Boaz began the process of creating a king for Klal Yisrael. And just like our relationship with the king is, we can only have one king. You can't have two kings. A kingdom can't have two kings. And we're all unified in the service of that king. That's how we have to be in our relationship with our friends, Klape the Rabbanu Shalom. We are all one. We all have the same objective in this world, and that is to serve the Rabbanu Shalom. We're all just different aspects of that service. And therefore Boaz, who was the father of that idea of being a king, taught us that lesson. If you want to serve the king properly, you have to have Shalom. In order to prepare properly for Kabbalas HaTorah, the wedding with the Rabbanu Shalom Mamish, we have to create an environment of Shalom. That's what Boaz is teaching us on Chag HaShavuos. When you say the words Shabbat Shalom, what are you saying? Each one of us are wishing Shalom through Shabbos. Because on Shabbos we also have that Bechina of Shalom. Why do we specifically light candles right when Shabbos comes in? At the entranceway of Shabbos, we light candles. Hadlakas Ner Shabbos. Right? You know that the Neros of Shabbos are lit in why? Shalom Bayis. It has to be light. Shalom Bayis. Shalom Bayis. Why is Shalom so central to Shabbos? Because Shabbos is Shalom. What does that mean? The weekdays and Shabbos are also the opposites. Ruchnius and Gashmius are also the opposites. Spirituality and physical are opposites. A world of working versus a world of not being able to work are two different opposite worlds with two opposite types of avoda. And yet, Shabbos is the day that's mechaber the ruchnius to the gashmius. Shabbos is the day in between this physical world and the next world. The gashmius and the Rabbanu Shalom. Shabbos is that intermediary. Shabbos makes shalom between ruchnius and gashmius. Shabbos is a day where we're able to have, what's Neshama Yisera? So Rashi in Be'ah says the Neshama Yisera is you can eat more.
Yeah.
You can eat more. And Neshama Yisera is such a spiritual concept because it's Haynuhach, it's the same thing. On Shabbos is a day where there's a perfect mesh of the concepts of Ruchnius and Gashmius. There's Oneg Shabbos, Suda Shabbos, and the spirituality of Shabbos. Lack of malach, we don't engage the physical world. Shabbos is where the two concepts engage each other in perfection.
It's been on pause the whole time. It's okay. This one's still going.
That's the day of Shabbos. In order for any husband and wife to reach the chuppah, there has to be an understanding. What's the understanding? The understanding is, in simple words, a commitment. A commitment to take two opposites and make them one. A commitment to become one. So we prepare for the wedding in that way. Kabbalah Torah, when we receive the Torah is all about our relationship with the Rabbanu Shalom. By the way, just like children are to parents, so too mitzvos are to people. What do I mean when I say that? Parents are the opposite. They come together in a great way. They create a power called shalom, and through that comes a oneness of a child, which represents the greatest koyach of oneness of the two opposite parents. The mitzvah is also where the physical world and the spiritual world, which are two opposites, met together and created a tolada, a child, called a mitzvah. Shabbos is the day of mitzvah. Shabbos is the day in the Shabbos we as people are able to create children of the two opposites called Ruchnius and Gashmius. Shabbos and Shalom and Yisrael, Ki Ish Echad, B'leiv Echad, are the preparation for Kabbalah's HaTorah.
So you're saying Shabbos, Yisrael, and
Shabbos and Yisrael,
yeah,
which are all the idea of Shalom, is the preparation for Kabbalah's HaTorah. Vayichan Sham Yisrael Neged Ahar. This is the preparation for Kabbalah's HaTorah. The world was created. What was created? A physical world was created. Why? So that we can have a Torah. And that there can be a Klal Yisrael. So that Klal Yisrael should reach the highest madrega of cohesion of Shalom and produce mitzvos. To produce a Shabbos of Shalom. That's how we prepare for our wedding with the Rebbeinu Shalom, with the Torah. It's Kaviyachal. So we're getting married with the Torah in order so that we can create mitzvahs. It's like the shalom that's created bein ish li-ishta so that they can create future dairas. So our preparation for Kabbalah's HaTorah is that on the Shabbos we should be excited. We should be excited and focus on the idea of a hisgalus of oneness in this world through mitzvahs bein adam lechavero, through that type of shalom, through a cohesion of ruchnius and gashmius, through an emphasis and an excitement on Shabbos, through a commitment to devote our guf to ruchnius, to a commitment to take the spirituality of the Torah and apply that to gashmius, through a commitment to learn Torah, through a commitment to study, to understand, to know what we have to do. And if we do that, then our Shavuos will be Shavuos. It'll be all of the days that we prepared properly for Shavuos will come out in Matan Torah on Shavuos. And we will be Zoicha to receive the Torah Ketikunai. And that day will bring us kochos for the entire next year. We will now be living with the Torah. And we will be producing mitzvahs. We should have an amazing, amazing Chag HaShavuos.
Amen.